Hello guys, NautoAisDx here, and this is basically a follow-up on my ASCII games Uber rant, yeah. So if you guys listen to it, like I said, it's only an audio for a reason there, so you can do other things while listening to it. So if you listen to it, I thank you, and if you don't agree with it, well, sorry, it is just my opinion about it. And like I said, some people who follow me knows me. I'm an English dub supporter on my main channel a long time ago. And you can also see this on my Vimeo. I'll link it on the description box to make it easy to find. I did a 4-part no dub no buy reason. And some of them I gave my reason, and then there was another video basically, it was a discussion with Chin Soon Soon, community manager of TecmoKoei Europe. Guy's awesome, company basically overall questionable. But Chin Soon Soon's a cool guy, so don't hate on him if the company decided to no dub the game. He's doing the best he can to please both sides. He's doing his best. He's a cool guy. I have talked to the guy before. He's awesome in my book. And other things. So, again, the reason why I did that rant, because this has always been, it's becoming now a normal trend in a video game. Again, you say, well, I don't remember voices in the game matter in the beginning. Well, if you're an 80 kids like me, yes, the NES, the Super Nintendo, and 64, well, to some extent, even the PlayStation, to some extent, yeah, some of the games didn't really have voices. It was, I think, PlayStation when the introduction of full motion video that some of the games were like Resident Evil, they did it. Excuse me. Resident Evil, I think they did that. Some other games, I think Gex, and there's a lot of games that were finally putting voice in. But at the time, Japanese or English, people didn't really care. I think until during the on the PS2 era, but all the way to the PS3 360 timeline, when some more of the games coming out more story driven, voices were getting in, like Grand Theft Auto, Dynasty War game had an English dub, some other Japanese game did, and I think it's also in the PlayStation 2 there were a lot of English dub, like Star Ocean they did it, Final Fantasy of course 10, there's other ones, and for a while, like I said, PlayStation in the PS2 era, and they did it in the first half of the PS3 era. They basically had a rule that the game must be dubbed or we can't sell it as a retail. And believe it or not, like Yakuza 1 basically did have an English dub and had Mark Hamill. Come on, man, you have that devious voice. So yeah, but then there was a backlash from Sega. Let's just say, I hate to say this word, but because from what I heard, Yakuza 1 in the PlayStation, correct me if I'm wrong, either PlayStation 1 or 2, I'm not really sure. I'm not so much of a Yakuza fan. I heard that because they had a way poor sale, that not only that they didn't make any money, they lost a lot of money. And I hate to say this word as I keep saying it. Sega did, quote unquote, bitch, yes, that word, to Sony. But to some extent, when I think about it now, Sega, wow, real professional. But yeah, they basically complained to Sony, and they basically had to make some deal to not dub their game. That's why the Yakuza anymore not dubbing, because if they did dub, they wouldn't probably bring it out. But again, some might be acceptable for that, not for others. And like I said, the dub trend, I think, started when a lot of RPG had an English dub, and that transfers also to the PS3. And like I said, some of the newer game that, because it had a long history of dub, like the Dynasty Warrior game, Samurai Warrior game, all suddenly TecmoKoei decided to go 180, say, no dub in our game. And then Namco Bandai did follow suit. Bandai, they would always dub the game, but of course there's no more Bandai games, now it's Namco Bandai. Namco, same suit, and there was a story after a while when they merged, they had some financial problem, and that's why some of the games during some of the PS3 era, or the HD era, let's just say that, Namco Bandai wouldn't bring a lot of the game out. Like, for one point, they didn't want to even bring Tales of Xillia. It took 2 years from the Japanese release to the American release. And by the way, I'm cool with that now when I think about it. At least they brought the game out. Yay. I did finish it. Awesome game. Highly recommend it. But yeah, for a while, because they were afraid, well, what if the game doesn't sell? Oh, we put dub, we're going to lose more money. And that's why they're always been afraid. Because, yeah, I have to admit, dubs do cost a lot of money. But it's still no excuse. People want the full experience. And some people, their opinion of the full experience is as English dub. Oh, that's a minority. Again, that notion, that argument, that doesn't work anymore. It's already been sometime. It's mostly proven it doesn't always work. Mighty Number 9, people wanted dub. There you go. And they're being polls, and maybe someone's were trolling. You can't prove it, but yeah, they were wanting dub. And the only reason you just say, oh, they're not loud because they're too loud. Yes, I mean, has it been a lot of people loud only prefer Japanese sub? And sadly to say, you're right. I go to the internet. Sadly, I barely see somebody complain, oh my god, the game has no sub. To some extent, because I know even in Dynasty Warrior and in the PS2 era, Dynasty Warrior and Samurai series, there were some people say, I wish there was Japanese sub. But then when people say, well, at least the game came out and look, they can't fit both language. And the cool thing about the sub, some of the sub people are like, oh, okay, fine. We'll just take it. So, I mean, well, why can't the English sub do it? Well, to some extent, if the timing is wrong. And second, the changes were really bad timing. You're doing it for a long time and all of a sudden you go 180. Normally, English dub were required and Japanese sub was a luxury. Now it became the other way around because people want to cut costs, some problem, and there is no excuse with that. It's also that's why I did that rant. So again, I'm still sticking with that rant. I'm still sticking with my belief. It is just unfortunately now, all suddenly now, voice language in America has changed. It's 180 now. Oh, the common game for release with voice is Japanese, and now English dub is a luxury in the West, which in America, the English language is its origin was in America or Europe. You got the idea, but a lot of history, multicultural history. You got the idea what I'm saying. I know I'm rambling there, but yeah, so that's the reason I did that rant. Again, you agree with it? Thanks. You watched it? Thanks. And if you don't agree with it, think I'm just talking from my ass, well, I'm sorry. It's just my opinion. That's the reason that video is not monetized, because I want to basically make awareness. I want to share my opinion, and I'm not doing that for money. My other feedback, I just want to give my thoughts. That's a different one because I'm not arguing with anyone. But when it comes to no dub, no buy, I'm arguing a lot of people to some extent. The company that want to cut costs, the people who are Japanese sub supporter. Yep, every time I talk about no hashtag no dub, no buy, even I'm giving my opinion, even I'm not addressing them, it is an argument. It can't be helped. That's how it goes. So that's my follow-up. Again, I thank you if you listen to it. If you don't agree with it, sorry. But I'm sticking to that belief. So thanks for listening.